Seven Deadly Sins is an open-world action RPG, but its future is in jeopardy. With an 80% player drop on Steam after a month, it's crashed completely. I'd say keeping it running might be worse than shutting the service down at this moment. With one of the worst launch experiences, it has left a bitter taste. But what caused the slow start? And why won't they be able to bring it back? If you don't know, Origins is a brand new gacha game by Netmarble. It's a similar experience to Genshin. You progress through the story, and the gameplay itself is fun, with good multiplayer mechanics and challenging fights. But the biggest challenge of all was getting the game to work. The amount of game-breaking bugs gave a horrendous impression. Convincing my friends to play the game with me, just to experience hours of bugs, is a tragedy. However, experiencing this from a game they delayed by 2 months, it feels like after 4 years of waiting, the game is still released too early. That experience felt like a betrayal, and I couldn't comprehend it being this bad on launch in the slightest. But how's Origins doing compared to their competition? Netmarble announced Seven Deadly Sins Origins in January 2022. They painted it as the successor of the Seven Deadly Sins franchise, with a launch in January 2026. Netmarble then delayed the release to March, which is a 4-year gap between announcement and full release. Hoyoverse announced Genshin Impact in June 2019. They had a full release in September 2020, 16 months from announcement. Arknight's Enfield is a bit more like Origins, being announced in March 2022. They released in January 2026 with strong reviews and 46 million in revenue from mobile alone. Origins made 10 million on mobile. Origins doesn't show their download data, so I used the respective Discord servers to show success, and this doesn't show the full picture. But without specific download data, it is difficult to make a fair comparison. There are a lot more players in the Arknight server, and Genshin Impact has the most, which makes sense. I have played all 3 games on release with at least 100 hours in all of them, and Origins was the worst. Netmarble has gone through game struggling before. This is a common occurrence in the genre of gacha games. Not everyone's going to enjoy every game. The number one cause for a gacha game failing is just not enough revenue for its costs. Origins is an ambitious RPG with an extensive world, so the monthly costs for maintaining the game servers are significant, especially when you compare it to Grand Cross, whose costs are lower and have more consistent revenue. They will pick one to run with, because both games compete for the same core player base. But if Origins can't prove why it's a better choice than Grand Cross, why would Netmarble support the game? And with Genshin Impact and Arknight's Enfield, Origins can't compete. Us players care about Seven Deadly Sins, but for newer players, it doesn't make sense to play Origins when you have these other options. And Origins has been releasing many original characters too. Like a lot of people, I was a long-time Grand Cross player due to my appreciation for the anime. Netmarble released Grand Cross during Season 2 of Seven Deadly Sins. This is when anime became mainstream. You couldn't discuss the best anime without its name being mentioned. And this is also when COVID-19 happened. People had more time and more money. And the popularity of the anime funneled people into trying out its gacha game. But times have changed. This means a higher cost of advertising to even come close to the same amount of players. Enfield isn't dependent on their original fanbase, it grew on top of it. It expanded by bringing in factory and automation gameplay. And automation games are a genre where you build machines and systems to do the work for you. Hyperglyph made this genre accessible, and I had so much fun learning the game. Origins does not differ a lot from more popular titles like Genshin. There's also the elephant in the room. You can only release Escanor once. Well, that's not quite true, but Grand Cross managed to give him 10 playable versions. But in the RPG genre, games give heroes 1 playable version. Escanor release dates have been a money printer for Netmarble. Everyone wants him maxed out, so they open their wallets. Origins already have hit the print button, so it's kinda downhill from here. There are better options, and Seven Deadly Sins is not as popular as it was 7 years ago. Without a polished experience or something to differentiate them from the rest of the competition, Origins is doomed. Keeping things as they are will not work. They treated the full release as an open beta test, and These are normally used to trial the user experience, but to buy more time, I'd shut the game down completely for a few weeks. But I'd have a plan. I'd lean into the PvP aspect of the game. It allows players to express their skill whilst giving them something to work towards. It also improves the community aspect, as the multiplayer is one of the strongest parts of the game. This could be a 2v2 or 3v3 format with different heroes. There's an opportunity for cosmetics as well, to support the revenue, and this would be to show your level or your strength. It's not done often in this genre and fits the nature of the anime. Most of the story's progress has been through large combats. Netmarble has a choice to make, because the game has a community that cares, but this can only last for so long.